Good afternoon. How's it going? Steven, how's it going? Yala, how's it going? Welcome to hanging out on live stream. Yeah. Grab a tea, grab yourself, grab a friend. I can be your friend. That's fine. And welcome to just hanging out and picking the next tea that we're going to brew for the next 5 days. Feels like a big decision. So, yeah. Today, the theme is just chilling out since we don't do enough of that. I would love to take this time to do what I need to do for my tea challenge thing, but also to see how you guys are doing and how your tea lives are doing. Trade some notes with me, let me know what you're brewing, and just chat. Yeah. I feel like I always have to have a topic. I think that's an introvert thing, especially I need a prepared kind of introvert thing where I'm like, I need to have a topic to like talk about, but we'll try just chilling out today. Yeah. I still have a topic. So I'm here, Steven's here, Bella's here. Yeah. We have already had tea today. Early this morning, we had a ujon from Dongshan. Fantastic tea. Really, really calm and soothing. Not soothing, more like makes you quiet down and think about stuff kind of tea. So, those of you in the membership who were joining us this morning, thank you for joining us. That was fun to be able to talk about that stuff. We talked about how a certain tea choice can affect you over the course of 5 days, right? That's a challenge through 5 days. And how to use boiling water to bring out more data from those teas if you want to like kind of feel what's happening on a either tea energy level or just, chachi level, right? Or even just how it affects your body if you're more into that kind of like approach. So we've had that tea already, feeling pretty okay. It's been a kind of topsy-turvy week for us. So if I'm gonna like shimmy shimmy, that's just me. Don't worry about it. It's not you, it's me. So yeah. Eric, nice to see you. Ganesh, walking in Pasos, welcome, welcome. Yechuri, Tequila, welcome. Eric says my tea life is boring. I should spice it up. Yeah, maybe do this one tea focus challenge with us. Oh, I wish I saw that. Yeah, replay's available. All the membership folks will get that replay too. So, yeah, I'm dropping the mentions of the membership because it's the people on the live stream who we're closest to and who see us. So if you want that info, it's not out to the public yet, but, DM me and we can talk about it. Let us know what you guys are drinking today. So Wujon for us, that Dongchan Wujon. Wujon being a Korean green tea. Early harvest, early spring harvest, really, really small, tiny buds. High quality tea, high grade, good picking, good stuff. And we really love, love, love Dongchan. That's that producer who makes it. They're cooperative tea farmers from Korea through Morning Crane Tea. So yeah, that's what we've been having today. What should we have now, though? I feel like I have to have a tea while like trying to decide what it is. So we just finished drinking a tea for 5 days straight, and that was Tea Habitat's Wild Qingxiang Tieguanyin. That's a wild, kind of like wild meaning like not as humanly, you know, being babysitted by humans, So wild. Tieguanyin being Iron Goddess from China. So very floral, very bright, clear. And that's the kind of tea that people typically assume is kind of like, oh, it's very green, it's very floral, I don't like it so much. A lot of Tieguanyin is like that, but this one's very, very good. So we enjoyed our 5 days with it. And, noticed that, yeah, it was a really good tea, but I feel like given how stressed out we've been lately, I kind of wish we'd set out with like a basier, very like comforting tea. Like, I think I described it as like the Tieguanyan's like a picnic, like a spring picnic, which is very lovely. I like spring picnics. It's nice to be outside with the meadows and the fresh air. So it wasn't bad for like a stressful situation, but still a little hectic. You still have to do stuff. I wish that we picked a tea that was like a weighted blanket, just like right. So maybe we'll pick that right now. Let's bust out I'd say the big guns, but they're more like the stable guns, like charcoal dongding. What do you think, Steven?
I like that tea.
Yeah, charcoal dongding, let's do it. It may or may not become the tea we pick for 5 days straight, but just to like get us nice and settled down. I'm craving some darker, kind of more like stable tea. So yeah. Um welcome, welcome, Curiosity and Prawikaibal. I'm so sorry. I'm like the kind of person who also has a name that's difficult to pronounce, so let me know. Agata, welcome, welcome. Cisco, welcome. What are you guys drinking today? What's up? Feel free to share. Just don't overshare. Just enough sharing. There's always a balance, yeah. But I've been very like open about this week was tough. Life's just like that, you know? And like I think that that's why it's nice to have a tea practice because I don't know where my grounding would be without my tea practice, you know? And that's even with me getting Steven to brew for me pretty much nonstop lately. But today we'll brew some dongding. So yeah, even just thinking about the thought, like of having, thinking about the thought of having dongding is very comforting. I bet my body's gonna have a reaction when I smell this. So which dongding is this? Charcoal?
Charcoal.
Yeah, from floating leaves.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm so excited. I miss you so much. That's what I feel about this tea. Feels like home. So yeah, let's brew that tea. So I'm gonna brew it in my gaiwan. Also, isn't this tea jar so pretty? It's a wood-fired tea jar from Taiwan. Gorgeous. Look at the colors. No paint on this. This is just the effect of the ash from the wood fire landing on the raw clay, doing its crystallizing, glazing thing. I love this stuff. Really, really, really gorgeous. This is the kind of stuff that's also more beautiful in real life by multiple degrees. I love the texture. I love like the tactile effect of this so much. So we'll drink that charcoal donding while deciding. Yeah. Is no one having tea with me? It's okay if you're not having tea, but that's my requirement. Is like, you need to give me the tea that you're drinking. Akila saying, OMG, love that tea. It makes me smile so much when I drink it. Which one is it? The Chingshan Tigwanian? Or charcoal donding? Tigwanian's very like, kind of happy tea. It was just a little too happy for me during that time. So we will be drinking whatever tea we picked today for 5 days straight. I'm thinking that it'll land on that next live stream we have on Thursday with the membership, so I can like report back to see how it goes. We're gonna do it together, right, Steven? And the point of doing this 5 days, you know, it is gonna be like a difference in flavor, difference in experience, difference in brewing style. You can use it as an opportunity to see how you brew, change it up, brew in a bowl instead of a gaiwan, brew in a kyusu instead of whatever. But I think at the heart of the challenge is seeing how the tea makes you feel. How does it get along with you? Are you guys friends? Do you get tired of it after a couple days? Are you already bored of it on day 2? You know? And the idea is that a really good tea is a tea that's going to be able to stick with you for 5 days and you're not going to be, you know, that mad about it. So the minimum is 3 days. I'm saying 5 days because I'm an overachiever. And I always want to go past the prompt. But honestly, if it takes 3 days, it's fine. This last tea we thought we were only going to drink for 3 days. We drank for 5 days. Sometimes the less pressure, the better, you know? Something I gotta tell myself more. Yeah. Roxanne, welcome. Steven, welcome. Nice to see you guys. Glad for joining us today. That's okay if you're just watching too. No worries. I'm glad you're joining us in spirit. So, you can tell how special this tea is to us that we kept it in our little like jar. We don't have many of these. Yeah, it's a sentimental choice, but also these kinds of wood-fired jars are a little porous, so the tea breathes a little bit, which is just a good match, I think, for the dongding. It's a charcoal roasted dongding. When we got this tea, right, it still had a little bit of a roast smell to it. So the hope and idea is that living in this breathable container, it can kind of, you know, move, change, breathe a little bit, take some air, breathe it out, you know. Versus in a porcelain container, it'd be a little bit more, you know, kind of basic and static, etc. Yeah. So It's mellowed out over time in this container. We like it a lot. All right. But yeah, how's life treating you guys? Eric says, I found a huge bag of an unmarked tea in my HT drawer. Yeah, I have some teas from my early 20s. I don't know what this is. I'm gonna remember. This tea is unforgettable. I'm not gonna forget. And then me now, my late 20s, I'm like, what the hell is this? You serious, Ree? You really thought you were gonna remember all these teas and years? So now I'm much more inclined to like label stuff. I used to not. It's funny how that works, huh? And if anyone's like not in their late 20s and is older and you're about to be like, this late 20s bitch is like telling me that she's old, I'm like, hear me out. I honestly think that something happens at 25. And there's like before 25 and after 25. Of course, I don't know your experience, but like, I honestly feel like the shift already happened for me. I can't stay up late anymore. I'm very sensitive to tea. Yeah. I want to drink this water. Okay. So preheated this guy one. I have so much excitement for this tea. Let's cover just the bottom of the guy one with leaves. Really pretty. Notice how this is a charcoal dongding. But if I could get a picture of the leaves, Stephen. Picture of the leaves? Thanks.
I was listening to the stream.
That's okay. You can see that they're not totally dark, right? Can you see how like there's still a little bit of green in them? And that to me, when I don't know. It's not an end-all be-all, but that to me signs like a really good roaster. Because they didn't have to obliterate the tea with a roast. Some of the green original color is still there. And of course, you know, it really depends. But this is just a little bit of data that I'm picking up. Like, yeah. Charcoal roast, you'd think it's like really, really dark and like dark looking, right? I've seen those teas. Have you seen roasted teas that are like, they're almost shiny because they look like they've been burnt so much? Which, you know, there are some good teas like that. Tendencies are, though, they're going to be a little bit less, like, well-roasted, in my opinion. Okay, let's see. So let's smell this. This is my favorite part that I think is super underrated. Yes! I would pay $5 for that. Just to smell. Ah, so good. So, so good. So, Eric, did you find out what that unmarked tea is? Love to take a picture and send it to me. Or post it on your Insta. See what that HT is. This tea smells like friends. Home. Comfort. Like everything's gonna be okay. Much needed. I'm getting a tiny bit of like a ferment smell to it, Stephen.
It's getting aged. Yeah.
It's getting aged. You picked up on it too? It's new for this tea, I would say. Or I wasn't paying attention that much the last time I smelled it, but today it's coming up. And by ferment, it's like, you know, the teas are still microbially active, right? Hopefully, if like the tea maker didn't obliterate the leaves. So the tea's changing a little bit. Even if it's not a pour, it's still capable of fermenting. That's why like aged white tea, aged oolong tea can be kind of sour, right? Have those like dried fruit notes. That's all the fermentation from age happening. Interesting. I wonder if it's going to change the tea a lot. Nice honey flavor too, sweet, but a complex kind of sweet. I like it a lot. Very steady. Whew, I'm gonna sneeze. Excuse me. Whew. All right. Ah. Excuse me. Beautiful color. Look at that color. Yeah? See how clear it is? I'm gonna like close it really quick after this, but I just want to see how bright and clear the liquor is for being a roasted tea. Honestly, I feel that the better quality of the tea, the lighter it reads than you would expect, from my opinion. Just from what I've seen. Gift of Love Charity, welcome. Sulkiro, welcome. Walking in Pass is asking about the memberships. Is it for everyone? Shh. It's only for the people who we interact with a lot for now. I've just realized this about myself. I'm a very slow person. I don't like it when there's like, yeah, everyone find out about it. if I made your ears hurt, that's what I feel when like I have to have that kind of energy. So slowly, opening it up. So yeah, happy to talk about it for people who are watching this, because these are the people who are the closest to like us in like the tea practice sense. You're here and watching. Yeah, we wanted to have a more kind of like stable, ongoing community of focused but friendly tea practice. Both things are true. We like to have a lot of fun, but we also like to like make it very like it's about the tea, right? So we've been running a Discord server for like maybe 18 months, from the start of the pandemic until March. So we put that on pause. Me and Steven were just having a hard time keeping up with it, to be honest. Just a lot of different kinds of things we wanted to do with it. So I took a break and I was like, hey, we made this tea community. We started hosting a lot of these live streams at the start of the pandemic, right? And it was our way to kind of like shelter ourselves, but also a way to kind of like try to give back to the community. So we were happy about that. But now that, stuff is changing a little bit, we realized that the free Discord was, it served its purpose, but I wanted to change it up a little bit. So that membership now is what we've decided to do with it, which is to make it more structured, closed, private community. In the past, it used to be like everyone can join the Discord. I'm reading this book. Where's my book? I don't know where my book is. The highly sensitive person book. Yeah, I'll get it. Yeah. And yeah, it's just nice to know what you're about. Anyway, I'll talk about this book in a little bit. This is if this makes you be like, oh, I'm interested in that book, I'll talk about it in a little bit. But yeah, the membership is just a closed private space to bring like-minded people together to like practice tea, do these challenges. We do like a private live stream that's a little bit more like method focused. We do Zoom groups, and the idea is to get you to be interacting more with some of the people here in chat, not just me, because as much as I enjoy sharing what we know and learning together, you and me, I think it's also really powerful if you like speak to other people, because I'm just one person. And more than what I know, I think we're really, really, really lucky to be surrounded by really amazing tea practitioners. This is not an exaggeration on my part. Sometimes me and Steven will be like eating dinner and we're like, I can't believe the people we get to practice tea with. Right, Steven? Like, it's just, yeah. So we're really grateful for you guys. So that's what the membership is. Knowledge, a little bit of like knowledge sharing from our part, if we're a little bit ahead of the tea journey, which we've been doing it for a long time. So we feel like we're prepared to guide a little bit, but also everyone learning from each other, if that answers your question. So that's what's up. So if you want details on it, let me know. Just DM me. No pressure at all whatsoever. But it's dope. I like it a lot. I think people are enjoying it as well. So yeah, Tea Potato, welcome. How's it going? Eco, welcome to the stream. Eric saying, I wish I had some tea from my early 20s. I think you've gifted me some of the tea you had in your early 20s already. No. When did we meet, Eric? Your late 20s? My early 20s? Eric's also saying, I'm so sad I'm missing the Portland Tea Fest. I miss all my Pacific Northwest tea peeps. Yeah, we miss a tea festival route. We are very lucky to have been, accepted to present at Nomad Tea Fest, by the way. There's a lot of information happening right now. I didn't mean for like it to be very like informational, but just it's in my stories. Nomad Tea Festival is allowing us to do a presentation for them, so it scratches some of the itch. So we're probably gonna do like a tea festival meetup in the membership of some sort, because that's fun. We did that last year. Last year. We've done it for a lot of different tea events. It's really fun. Because you get to type with people, oh my gosh, what did they mean by that? Or like, my question's not answered yet. Or like, what do you think about what they just said? It's really fun. Yeah. So that's those deets. This tea feels great. Ah, so good. It feels like coming home to a tea. I don't even think it's just because it's roasted. I do think a little bit of it is a roasting taste. I think there was a study somewhere. I think I wrote about it in one of the 80 Degrees articles. That certain certain flavors and certain temperatures of tea will make you feel a certain way. So they did this blind study in Korea where, like, I think it was Korea, where they had, no, I think it was multiple different countries. They had people drink either hot or cold tea, and they asked people to rate their feelings about it afterwards. Like, what do you feel? What does this make you feel? And warm tea makes you feel, I don't want to quote the study, but things like comforted, warm, relaxed, things like that. And then cold tea made people feel active and energetic and adventurous. So interesting. So I think there's a little bit of that, right? And roasting taste will tend to be, I think that's in Virginia Lovelace's book, Tea and Nerd's Eye View. Fantastic book. Tea and Nerd's Eye View by Dr. Virginia Uttermalin Lovelace. I think that's the name of the book. I think she has a little segment there where she talks about how different kinds of tastes register with us differently emotionally. So that roasty tastes feel comforting, I don't remember the rest of it, but there's connotations for flavor. But I think this tea is just good also. And the tea is just really, really well made. And yeah, sentimental value is really high. Is there a tea that comes to mind for you with this kind of like feeling that you're like, I just like this tea. It feels like home. It feels really good. Um, I feel so much better already. I feel like a little bit of like tension in my body is getting released having this oolong. Yeah, really, really good. Hmm, good. Hi Mel, how's it going? I have 7 minutes on my 15 to get the tea from you. That's really funny. 15? That's it? Oh my gosh. 7 minutes, not too bad. Yeah. Hope you're doing well, Mel. Tea Potato, how have I not heard about that book? Yeah, it's funny, right? You would think that everyone has already heard of everything. There's still books that I'm like, how did I never hear about this book or podcast? Um, where is it? Yeah, it's in here somewhere, right? Maybe. Oh no. God knows. Is it gonna be in here? I'll show you another book too that I got from LA. Is it the Dear Nerds Eye View book?
Outside.
Oh yeah? Okay. I can go grab it. I also got this book. You're gonna also feel like, how have I not heard about this book? I got this when I was in LA. We took my niece to a concert, her first concert. That was so fun. And we went to the LA County Museum of Art, and this guy showed up. How it's upside down or flipped. How to read Chinese ceramics. I got it already. And yeah, I opened it and they're like really talking about the motifs. And they have a page on I Ching teapots. And yeah, I just really want to learn more about some of the symbolism from like painted wares, So like they will kind of like explain this scene and what motifs are, for me, not being of Chinese descent. Well, that's not true. Not being of primarily Chinese descent. I'm not, and I didn't grow up Chinese. I don't necessarily know what it means. So, what feelings are supposed to be evoked by these paintings? So I'm digging it. Really, really fun. But that's a different book. There's so many books. Yeah. The Chinese plate closely follows the Dutch design. In addition to the woman and her attendant who holds a parasol, the three water birds are rendered in the painting. Um, so this Chinese artist copied a Dutch painting and then he added bamboo to the grass. That's really interesting. I would have thought it was going to be the other way around. Like the Dutch copied the Chinese design. So really fascinating. Yeah. Anyway, lots of books. My question though about your tea that, is really, really comforting, still open. This is the one for us. This and probably Wild Mountain White. That 2012 Gongmei white tea from Fujian. that's microbically active. You might have heard about this. I haven't talked about it in about a year. I've just been shy to drink it, but we should drink that again. Can I get some
We
more water,
want to do
please?
that thing, right?
Hmm?
The break your sexual occasion tea.
Oh, that's right. That's right. So, yeah, that's another thing we're planning for the membership, actually. End of the month, we'll do a break out your specialties that you're not used to. Need to tell them. That's just me. I'm practicing being better at telling people when stuff's gonna happen. I think I'm getting better at it. It's just not my innate skill. I'm usually like, yeah, this is happening this weekend. It's like, it's kind of short notice, right? But I'm trying. I'm trying. So Eric, I recently found my new favorite tea book. You can't leave us hanging there. What's your favorite tea book? Oh, wow. There's so much going on in the scent. I'm getting like vanilla. Wow, sweet, sweet vanilla. Like vanilla bean. Oh, it's so sweet. Jeez. Steven, you smell that. It's like vanilla bean ice cream. Like French vanilla ice cream. You can disagree, but you get that. It's so sweet. I didn't even use lotion or anything today. It's not anything that I picked up. Ah, so good. You know, like a tea loves you? I feel it. I feel like this tea loves me. I love it back, so it's not like one-sided. Steven loves it as well, so we have this nice little like platonic threesome going on. Right, Steven? Ah, charcoal dongding.
I have a lot of it.
Yeah, so this from Floating Leaves. Good tea. Really, really good. So that book that Eric's talking about is Learning by Brewing. Oh, by Jen Stenig. I like the sound of that book. And then also, probably the most comforting tea, feel like home tea I've ever had is at Baliocha. Yeah, by Jong Jae-yeon. I have that Baliocha from you, and it is interesting. I've had to like contend with it. It's fascinating how different teas can sit with different people. And I believe you. I believe that that tea works with you really well. But for context, Eric gets a halmoni-cha, right? Halmoni meaning grandma, grandma tea. It's a Korean tea. Morning Crane carries it during their group buy each year, and that tea, we had it on a work day, and I was like, oh shit, we're not supposed to have this tea on a work day. It was so powerful and so intensely like both thinky and feely. So yeah, it's this tea over here. So we have a lot of it still left. See, Eric? So this is halmoni-cha. And it says, monks discovered this tea. Whenever I see that, and they're serious, it's not like a marketing gimmick, which I think you can kind of start sussing it out. When do people say this is a monk tea versus like when is it real? Like the monks actually pulled up in like their Subaru and like got the tea from these people? You have to think about it that way, right? Like not monks in like mythology or a movie, like monks who have iPhones and they drive a Subaru and they go to pick up the tea and they pay money for it. Real people, real monks. When I see that, I'm like, this tea is probably going to be good. because usually monks have very clean diets, you know? They are way more advanced in terms of like balancing thoughts and sense beingness versus the average like human being. So any issues with the tea, any instability in the tea, if the tea is not comfortable, if the tea is not good, if the tea is not clean, you know, not high quality, guess who's gonna be able to like suss it out? It's gonna be someone who like meditates a lot and like has dedicated a lot of time to that kind of very mindful, you know, I don't even know how you describe it. The monk thing, you know? Like they evaluate but they don't. They have like they engage but they don't. So when I hear that, I'm like, I want to know about that tea. So and then I've had issues with this tea when I know Arthur from Morning Crane picks really good tea. I've had other teas from him. Cool. Eric, I trust your tea taste a lot. We have used, many similar teas together. I like most of your tea taste, right? Last thing, the monks like it. So there's three different people that I trust like this. I'm the odd one out. Who do you think is wrong? Who do you think, not wrong, but who do you think has more to practice out of the four? Me being the one who's like, oh my god, this tea is so challenging, I can't drink it. It's probably me. Not to say that I'll ever like this tea, but it does encourage me to want to try it more, Yeah. If that makes sense. Eric, I hope it's okay that I dragged you into that conversation. I put you on the spot. You've shown us very, very many good teas. Kate, nice to see you again. Gold Spruce, welcome. Kate, we're doing a charcoal dong ding right now. You're asking what I missed. We're also talking about the membership and the slow crawl into opening up a little bit more with the people that we know and trust and who have spoken with us, and then also asking people about their comfort teas. What tea do you like that when you drink it just feels like a stable base space? I don't know. I think you can even see it. I keep saying this, right? But I really would invite sometimes, maybe you and I can do it, Steven. When we go through a live stream, how do I look and how am I talking before I drink the tea? And then what happens after I drink the tea? And what tea was it? And you can honestly see, I think, right? You can observe what the effect of the tea is on me. And I'm very sensitive to tea. So, yeah. So those kinds of ideas. Welcome, friends. Talk with Tea, Noemi Broco. Welcome, welcome. We're just chilling out. We're gonna pick a tea to brew for 5 days. It might be this one, to be honest. How is this not gonna be the tea that we're gonna brew? Can you please do it?
All right.
Okay. It's just so great. I was, though, Kate, thinking about Himalayan Spring. It is different from your batch, though. We have the autumn flush. You have the spring flush. But that was honestly my second choice, was to do the Junjibari Nepalese, which we still have time. It's a long challenge. The challenge ends on the 31st, so we have some time to do it. I oversteep this.
I'll drink it.
No, I'm gonna, when we practice this morning, work with the bitterness.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good. If you ever oversteep a tea, a good tea, and it's bitter, try to get over that initial which I had, and be like, okay, where is this gonna take me? Really good. Oh man, good tea, very tasty. So Eric, about the Halmonisha we were talking about, you're certainly not wrong. It doesn't agree with you. Yeah. I think it's not, I'm not sure if it doesn't agree with me, which I do have the capacity to say if a tea doesn't agree with me. But I don't think I've given it enough attention or practice. So if I try a tea 10 times and it still doesn't agree with me, and I've tried my best, maybe, but we haven't done enough work with that tea. And it's just new, the concept of tea that you work with versus tea that you don't. You're just, like everyday grade tea, easy drinker, right? Easy drinker, crowd pleaser, daily drinker, approachable, friendly. Those teas are very easy to drink, And then you have these challenging, high quality teas that are not to say that your daily drinkers can't be high quality, but there's a certain kind of tea I feel like you need to work with it a little bit to see what you can get out of it.
Teacher teas.
Teacher teas.
They themselves are teachers.
Yeah, they want to teach you something. I don't know. You guys cook, right? Some of you guys do. If you don't, that's fine. But just, using the metaphor, there are some ingredients that are harder to use than others. Like, cardamom kicked my ass the first time I worked with cardamom. Oh my gosh, right? I just followed the recipe. I didn't taste the cardamom. I didn't, work with it. I never had experience with it. So when you meet something new and potent like that, and something messes up somewhere, you don't like the result, I overdid the cardamom on that dish because I just followed my recipe. So I brewed it the same way. I worked with the ingredient the same way. So I could blame the ingredient, like, oh, I don't like cardamom, or like, what did I do wrong? What's different about it? What can I get to know more about this ingredient, you know? Well, some ingredients are easy to use, like eggs. You know, like eggs are gonna be eggs, right? Um, so yeah, that's that. This is a tea that's both a I think you can study with it and you can kind of chill out with it, which is why I appreciate it a lot. Both are true. This morning we had a ujon that I told the stream today. I'm like, I'm not gonna brew that during the live stream because it was very serious, very contemplative. Contemplate. How do you say that word? Contemplation inducing, contemplative, contemplative, and it made me very quiet. So now I know I can use that tea for like chilling out, meditating, you know, or trying to meditate. So Kate says comfort tea is Himalayan spring, that Jinchiabari spring harvest, that or hojicha. I love hojicha as well. And lol, Ashley, I have last year's flush still trying to save money. Oh yeah, ours is from like 2 years ago. Yeah, so we're still on that route too. Bloom now, welcome to the chat. We're just sharing about tea. I think we have picked the thing I went into doing this is like I wanted to pick the tea that I would be brewing for the next 5 days. I think we found it. This is easy though. This is like a comfort pick for us, Steven. Did we do charcoal donding last time? It's been 2 years since we did this challenge. Time flies. Isn't that crazy?
I think I probably did.
Okay. I know Alex and Christine did this tea. And Alex and Christine did this tea also after Christine got bitten by a tea she didn't want to do for 3 days with. So, isn't that funny? Christine, our friend who also did this challenge with us 2 years ago, she decided to do a Huang Pian. And she thought the Huang Pian was going to be good. And it was good, but it made her feel too sleepy. So she had to switch tea. And I think she chose the charcoal dong. Yeah. Whew. Okay. It's very, very bitter. But I'm going to work with it. And when you shift attention away from the bitter part, other things kind of like light up, which is really, really nice. The aftertaste, the texture, how strong and structured the tea is. The aftertaste is gorgeous with this very, very strong brew. Really bitter. Remembering again that in tea making ideology, in some tea making ideology, right? Bitter is the core of the tea plant. Without bitterness, there's nothing for us to work with to transform into other things. So while bitter is a little bit, I don't like bitter either. I didn't grow up liking bitter, but I appreciate it in tea. Mm-hmm. Ooh. Ooh. It's so bitter. See, if I'm not paying attention, I fall back to my default, which is like, it's so bitter. But it's pretty good. It's not an unpleasant bitter. It's only if I have a knee-jerk reaction. Eric says I have a smoked Hunan green tea that's also very homey. Have you given that to me? I feel like I have a smoked Hunan green tea somewhere. Kate, I haven't need to have donding again. Been too long. Yeah. Yeah. I honestly feel like a knot was released in my body when we had this tea. It's been quite stressful lately, and like, I don't know. Yeah. Um, that's why this like idea of like brewing one tea for 3 days straight or 5 days straight, you really get to know what the character of your tea is. Is this tea something that you can take with you when you're really stressed out? Or is it something that you drink when you're trying to think about things, you know? Like people. I have a friend who I go to whenever I have like deep like thoughts about the world. We can talk for hours and hours and hours, but I know that person is not who I go to for relationship advice. Am I gonna blame them? No, that's just the person. Everyone's different. Um, you know, if you want someone to remember a birthday, don't ask me. I'm trying, but like I'm not the most like exceptionally like structured, conscientious, remember everything person. I think I am a little bit, but like my friends know in my friend group, I'm the most likely to be like, "Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, I missed your birthday. Happy birthday." And they know, and they don't judge me for it. I just am that person in the group. If you want to be calm, who are you gonna pick to hang out with? Me or Steven? I'm putting Steven on the spot. I would say pick Steven, you know? But if you want to talk, I don't know, Steven's fun to talk to. But if you want someone to talk to you, you're gonna pick me. So, same thing with your teas. Which teas fit in different situations, right? Oh my gosh, people are like, Steven. I pick Steven.
You can have a
So I'm still here, by the way. Just our other camera like failed, but you can look at my hands. Look at my hands. I don't know why I'm doing. I'm just showing you that the camera's still working. So, but yeah, totally. I pick Steven if I want to calm down. You don't have to be sorry. I think it's good that we can make confident decisions about those kinds of things. You know, like number one, we don't expect every person and every tea to do everything, right? We can't expect Dong Ding to like do everything for us. We don't expect green tea to do everything for us. It's okay if like some teas have weaknesses some way. It's really knowing getting to know them and where they perform the best, I think. Right? So I don't take offense at that. So Bloom now is asking about the challenge. So yeah, that challenge is that 3 day rule. It was taught to us by our friend and poor expert, Jeffrey McIntosh. Yeah, for those of you hearing this again, just a review, you know, maybe you can challenge your friends, tell them about this in the same way that I am saying. What happens if you drink a tea for 3 days straight? How does this make you feel? Well, most core to the challenge. You can treat it as like a change your brewing style, see how the tea changes from day to day with your palate. That's a big one too. But at the heart of the challenge, it's like, how does this tea make you feel? Can you survive 3 days stuck with one tea? Because there are teas that I think are fun to drink once, and then you're not gonna want to have it the next day. Like a friend that you're like, oh, I want to see you one time this week. I don't want to see you again tomorrow. I don't hate you. I just not don't need to see you again tomorrow. You know what I mean? So that's the challenge. And again, that's happening in the membership that we are working on. Very slowly putting together a small private space. Small-ish, I mean. An intimate private space where all of us can kind of like trade notes and like work on the same challenges together. So I think right now, Kate, you finished the tourism, right? The tourism tea. Are you basically moving on from that one, or are you gonna keep going? I think a couple friends are doing green teas. A couple friends are not sure yet. We just finished a Take One Yen for 5 days straight. I thought I was gonna do 3 days, but we kept going. And then see how, you know, it's just really fun. Everyone has a different approach to it. Different ways of seeing the challenge. Some people struggle with the challenge a lot, and then some people have a really easy time. And then when we switch challenges, like last year, not last year, but last month was cold brew challenge. Some people are like, hell yeah, cold brew. And some people are like, heck no, cold brew. I'm gonna suffer. How am I gonna make this work for me? You know, it's really fun. Really fun. So Eric says, if I drink the same day 3 days straight, I get bored as heck. Yeah. Maybe that's just, is that the tea or is it you, right? Which is not it's not a bad thing if it's you. It's just, can you handle it, you know? Kate says, gonna move on to Himalayan Spring. That's Junchi Bari. Thank you, Kate. See you later. So I hope that answers your question, Bloom now. I can give you a link to the interview that, well, number one, I can give you a link to the challenge. And on that page is that interview we did with Jeffrey McIntosh, our poor friend who taught us this method. And you can kind of like, you know, get to see some of the concepts a little bit better. Yeah. And then let us know too if you're interested in the concept of membership. Again, I'm being very slow to like open up that group because I'm quite slow. as a person, and that's okay. I don't like this big rush. I like it when I get to like talk one by one with people and be like, is this right for you? I can answer questions. You can ask, I can ask you questions, stuff like that. Which I feel like I need to like rep this book. You guys okay if I talk about my book? You don't have a choice. You have a choice. You can leave if you want to. But this is answering a lot of questions for me. It's called The Highly Sensitive Person. It says, the tagline is How to Thrive When the World Overwhelms You. And if this book is like, ooh, I feel like I might be highly sensitive, awesome. Even if you're not, 20% of the population is highly sensitive people. So I'm sure you know someone in your life who is like this. Maybe it's going to help you understand them more. I feel like I am a highly sensitive person. And the book's premise is that, well, number one, breaking down the idea that sensitive people are not good. Like, sensitivity is a bad thing, which we grew up with that. Like, oh, you're so sensitive. It's never a good thing, right? And I don't like that. I've been told that before. You're so sensitive. Like, you cry too much. Like, you're overreacting. And those hurt me a lot. I remember those memories very, very clearly. And it's supposed to be a bad thing, right? It's not good to be sensitive. But this researcher, Dr. Elaine Aron, this is a 25-year-old book. The fact that people still recommend this book is just, the research in it is very, very good. I'm not done with it yet. But her, what she's bringing up is that sensitivity is not a bad thing. And it shows up not just in people, like human people, but in other persons that think and react, like dogs, cats, dolphins, a lot of mammals, In their populations, there's about 20% occurrence of highly sensitive organisms as well. So we're not an anomaly, like people like me, maybe it's not you, but people here in this room who feel like they're highly sensitive people. There's nothing wrong with us. Evolution has decided that we should be in the population to about a 20% incidence. And the idea is that you need to have a certain fraction of the population who is a little bit more sensitive to the environment. Meaning, like, if this is you, when an alarm goes off, I'm like, what is that? What is that? Right? That's me. When I was in high school, group of 30 kids, the fire alarm would go off. I'd be the only one to be like, ah! Which is it's so embarrassing growing up to be that person. I felt like I was so stupid, Another thing is, like, again, if things are overwhelming to you, if you are easily overwhelmed by noise, chaos, emotions, if you perform poorly when you're observed, when you require time alone each day, as much as you need food and water, basically heightened sensitivity. There is a category for us people who are like that. And yeah, I'm digging it. It's great, And it helps me a lot because we do tea and we run a business and we are people in a very busy, quite extroverted, typical favoring world, right? So knowing like how to work with my specific traits has been really great, Like the world would favor me to be like, go, 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 go all the time, meet people, Why are you so tired? Why do you need rest? We don't even have kids. Why are you guys tired? I have a kind of anxiety all the time. But I'm just a sensitive person. HSP, highly sensitive person. So that's you. I don't know. Maybe look into it. And if this sounds familiar to you, maybe you have a friend who like withdraws a lot. You don't hear a lot from them. They get overwhelmed easily. They might be an HSP.
You want to ask the questions?
What questions? It's a lot of questions. But let me know if you want more info on this book. It's great. I'm very, very much enjoying it. By the way, teething happened in this book. Can you believe it? I see tea connections everywhere, so I can't help it. But is anyone sensitive to caffeine? Particularly sensitive to caffeine. This is not the only thing. There's like a list of like 30 questions that can help you decide if you are highly sensitive or not. But I'm sensitive to caffeine. And it says here, one of the clues of a highly sensitive person is if you are particularly sensitive to the effects of caffeine. And I'm like, holy shit. What? That's crazy. And this is over like many, many years of them working with different populations, working with people. I know a lot of tea people who are sensitive to caffeine, right? And in my opinion, I'm getting a little meta about this. You guys are used to me by now, right? I feel like that segment of the tea population is not comfortable saying it in the community, in my opinion. Like, the more favored thing to do in the community is like, nah shit, go, drink tea, 13 teas a day. That's me too, okay? Like, especially when I was younger. 13 teas a day, drink it, go, 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 go. I'm not othering this community because I was there when I was younger. I was more able to handle it. And I didn't understand when people are like, no, I'm not gonna drink tea after 5. It just affects me a lot. And I honestly thought these people were like, are you serious? Like, you guys are okay. Just being like a little bit too young and like close-minded, you know? And yeah, I feel like, at least the community around me, the mainstream, yeah, is all about like, yeah, drink tea late. Why are you so like again, why are you so sensitive? Right? Um so I want to like call out the group, not call out them, but like bring awareness to there is a group of tea people that I talk to often that is very careful about the teas that they drink because they can be very, very easily affected by those teas. And they're usually quite quiet people. They don't say much, right? I'm looking at Steven because like Steven is also like this. Um yeah. So interesting stuff. Interesting stuff. You guys still doing okay? Dino, I'm not sure if you're still here. It's been a while since I like you hopped in, but welcome to the chat. Any thoughts? How's it going for you guys? If you're just enjoying the stream, that's fine too. Don't feel obligated to say anything. Just relax. Or not, whatever you want to do. Eric, I don't know if this is me, but I do have issues with loud noises and bright lights, which is the reason I've not been in a movie theater in over a decade. Yeah, I think there are different reasons to explain the same behavior, but I don't know. Me and Steven have been doing a lot of work lately in terms of like how are we different from the mainstream and how is that okay and how can we work with those differences in ourselves to be happier because yeah, I don't know. I feel like society like rewards a certain kind of like phenotype in humans, right? And I don't know. Yeah. Like I'll just tell you a story of like World Tea Expo, for example. When I was younger going to World Tea Expo, I could like work the floor all day and then go to a tea party and then work the floor all day the next day and then go to a tea party, work the floor all day, go to a tea party, go home and go back to work. And I could do it when I was younger. And I think some people do still do it. Some of our tea friends in the industry can still do that. But I'm finding myself like now being like, as much as I want to see my tea friends at the festival after the floor, I'm ready to go home, you know? And I feel bad because then I'm like, oh, do my tea friends feel like I'm skipping out on them? Do they feel like I'm rejecting them? I don't want to see them, right? Like, we all worked so hard today. How come you're not showing up to the party? Are you being like cold? So I wish I had this ability to just be like, hey, it's because I'm very easily overstimulated. I give my 100% when I'm on. So afterwards, I just need to chill. But then people misread you and that's it can be hurtful, right? So just things, to consider. I do think that the quite a lot of people in tea will happen to be highly sensitive persons because another thing that highly sensitive people tend to do is we are very well attuned to differences in sensory experiences. Meaning, when we experience something, we're more able to like appreciate the nuances. They use art, good food, music as an example, but I think tea, I think it takes a certain kind of right, like we can like appreciate hot water and leaves and pick up different experiences. Our nervous system's a little bit more like activated. It's not a bad thing or a good thing. It's just, it is, and that's okay. Kind of thing. It's So that's what we've been going through lately, among many other things. So Eric, which tea is this? I mean, which dongding? This tea that we are now on the third steep, I'd say. It's still smelling like like a hug, like love from the tea. This is charcoal roast dongding from Floating Leaves,
I think it's 2018.
2018. So 4 years old. We've stored it in this wood-fired jar for the last year now, maybe 2 years. About 2 years, right? This amount. We still have others in like a bag. It would be fun to do a comparison, Stephen.
Yeah.
Very good. I have a feeling this is aging faster than in the bag because there's more exposure to the air. And air exposure, I used to think was a bad thing, but it's not necessarily a bad thing if you can control it and you're aware of it. Love this. Love this. This piece. So gorgeous. It's from Taiwan. Yeah. Yeah. Good stuff. Bloom now, I'm glad you're enjoying the stream and drinking tea. Did you mention what tea you're drinking? And if you're drinking tea or you're not drinking, that's fine too. No worries. I also want to normalize bringing herbal tea to a Camellia sinensis tea stream. There's also that like, ooh, herbal tea. That's not legit. Me and Steven are developing a very, very deep relationship with lavender lately. Like, very soothing. I like that plant a lot. Yeah. Ozzy the Man, yes, welcome to the stream. We are just probably going to wrap up this steep. We've been talking about tea feelings, people feelings. Feelings. Ew, gross. Feelings are bad. Don't have feelings. Just think about it. Yeah, but I don't know why I went there. But yeah, we've been just talking about how tea sits with you, how it reacts with you, and how people are different, teas are different. Yeah. Fun stuff, I think. So Bloom now is having a 90s wild leaf sheng from Chinese Tea Shop. Awesome. We really, really like Chinese Tea Shop. Yeah. Yeah. Like them a lot. I wish I had some more tea from them. Eric actually gave me a 90s for show Buddha hand. Is it? Oh yeah, it is Tigonian. That's right. So it's not for show. It's Tigonian. Really good stuff. Really good stuff. Tea cooties. Yeah, Steven gave me the tea cooties for sure. Steven. Okay. So last brew of this for now on stream. I think we are gonna go with this. So we will drink this tea for 5 days straight. And what we're gonna be looking for is how we are feeling. Feelings during the 5 days. Is this tea the correct thing for us? Note that it is summer. It's quite hot. I'm kind of hot. I would honestly use a little bit less tea than this the next time. I like this tea. It's just, yeah. I think it's the correct tea for us to use, but I would use less of it because I don't need this much heat. If it's okay to point out, I'm honestly having a little bit of like I don't know, phlegm thing going on as I'm drinking this tea. I don't know if it's because we've been around a lot of dogs today, but I haven't noticed that. Is it a tea at a slight imbalance with like where my body needs to be? It's possible. So I am going to test that out tomorrow because we're going to drink it for 5 days straight. That's the point. I'm going to use less tea and see if it, still feels great, but feels even better without like making me feel bad. And factoring in that it is summer. So this is my homey tea, but it is summer. So where's the middle point, right? And yeah, we're gonna post about that in the challenge channel in the membership. Doing that because if you only listen to me talk about it, that's very, I do my best, right? I think we know, enough to be able to share, but seeing how other people take it, I think, and react with their own teas, react with this challenge, have the same experiences as you and me, or have a different experience is really, really enlightening. I've had so much fun just reading people's like challenge posts. Always. It's been like 2 years now that we've been hosting these monthly challenges, but we have grown so much with you guys. It's been really crazy. Learning a lot. So, this beautiful color. Check it out, Steven. Can we like get the camera? See how like it's a roasted tea? There we go. It's a roasted tea, but it's lighter than you think it'd be, right? It's so clear. So it's deep, deep, deep color. The cameras make it seem a little bit lighter, but in real life, very saturated, but very clear. This is a sign of a really good tea. Especially when there's a roast applied to it already, you'd think it's going to be very dark. This is fantastic. The roaster was able to maintain the integrity of the tea, is what this tells me. You can see you're clear at the bottom. Sometimes tea is a little cloudy, right? Or there's like a color gradient kind of thing. Those, for me, are just signs that maybe just a couple steps down in terms of like the processing skill and the quality of the tea. Especially also factoring this is aged. So I think that the tea has a lot of just innate confidence and power that it can like age over time and not lose its integrity. And then we're also aging it responsibly, you know. The worst aging conditions I've ever seen are like bags of tea left outside in the rain in Taiwan. Oh my gosh. On like a rooftop and the heat and everything. And yeah, those were like 2-year-old teas. I tasted them. They were like 80 sheng, but not good. They were cloudy, dark, just not good conditions. No matter how good the tea is, if conditions are just that bad, you know, yeah, they weren't controlled. Bloom now, yes, love Daniel and his teas, big fan. Yep. Should have some of his tea more. We have quite a bit of his tea to get through. So we're very lucky to have really, really good vendors, honestly, in the West. I'm of the opinion that our vendor selection is really, really good. There's a lot of kind of like distrust, I feel like, of vendors in the West. Like, oh, our teas are not as good as what's happening in China. You know, we're not getting the good stuff. The good stuff doesn't leave China. I think there's like a 0.0000001% that's not leaving China. Because yes, it gets snatched up immediately. But I think because it's such a niche hobby here in the States, you actually have a higher percentage of pretty good vendors in the United States than if you go to friggin' like, good luck to you. Like, go to like Inga, right? Like Ceramics Town in Taiwan, that's tea ceramics town. Tea people go there. The tea is not as good as in the friggin' United States. I would rather go to Floating Leaves than buy tea in Inga in Taiwan.
It's hard to find good ceramics, even.
Yeah.
Compared to a vendor who knows something.
Yeah, right.
And brings it.
Which Inga, I think, is a little bit better at that because they are ceramic people. But the tea, there's no way. And we even met like tea producers there who had a ceramics and tea shop. Remember that? He was very nice, you know, but you're like, oh god, the tea is not good. No disrespect to the person, you know, but just not the tea that I want. So we fly to Taiwan, we hang out with the people we like, we go back and we buy tea from like Floating Leaves and Tillerman tea and like, you know, we still do. So we have our friends there that we get our own tea from, and we also still drink Western facing vendors' teas. Are you paying a premium? Yeah. Do these people deserve the premium? Yeah. Absolutely. Otherwise, you know, we should just live in Taiwan constantly.
Get it yourself.
Go get it yourself. You know, do the WeChat
Which
thing.
you can't, because you can't find it.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're in some dark alley, you know?
Yeah, right. So I'm preaching to the choir here. I know that a lot of you do, you know, respect your vendors and like trust in them, but what I mean is like really big fan of Daniel too, and so many vendors in the West. I don't blindly trust them. I don't use a trust. I don't blindly follow what they say, but I don't even blindly follow what Steven friggin' says. You know, Steven's like, don't put that much soy sauce. I'm like, I want to put this much soy sauce. Screw you, Steven. Although that's not really accurate because me and Steven are very soy sauce heavy cooks. Um, yeah, like Eric is saying, Korea makes really good tea, but good luck finding a good tea shop in Seoul. Good luck finding any tea shop. Herbal tea, right? Which I like herbal tea, but if you're looking for like a certain kind of like ujo and sejak, it's challenging, right? Anyway, I'm gonna drink the rest of this tea. Any last thoughts from you guys? Questions? Concerns? Feel free to like, you know, put a agreeing comment, disagreeing comment, just chillin'. If you feel like just chillin', no problem. It's not gonna bother me. Um yeah, this is good. DM me if you want any of those links to the book I mentioned, the membership. What else did I mention? Nomad Tea
Yeah.
Festival, the Tea Challenge, whatever you want. Just feel free to ask. Uh, anything is fine. So, any last thoughts? This tea, I feel like it knows we're gonna like end the session soon. For some reason, it like downshifted. Have it. I know it's very very woo woo today, and I'm okay with that. Vita Lee, welcome. We're about to like wrap up. I keep saying we're about to wrap up. Classic Re. Very, very long. I have a very long finish. Isn't that good? Long finish is good. And yeah, if you go and venture and do the one tea focus, the monthly challenge, drink one tea for 3 days straight. Um, of course, I recommend that you are on the membership so that you can trade notes with us. But even if you don't, I'm like, just still tell me how it's going. I'd like to know how your experience is going with that kind of stuff. Good tea. Very gentle, like, gentle landing. Alright, guys, thank you for joining us on a Saturday afternoon, evening, maybe Sunday morning, wherever you might be. It's been very nice hanging out with you. Those of you who joined us for both live streams today, thanks for spending that time with us. It's been nice to spend time with you. I like seeing you guys in both places. Of course, you're not obligated to ever show up to one of these, but it's still really nice to spend time with you. So we'll wrap up there. I'll keep you guys posted on the charcoal dong ding if you need anything from me. Not anything. Context. If you need anything that I can help you with that's relevant and within my bandwidth from me, DM me, and we'll have a good evening. Thanks for joining us. Bye. Bye, T. No, the C's gonna stay with us. Bye.